online and he found a study that showed a spring with displacement required an even force, and when held at rest, the force didn't change, whereas a band, as you pulled it, when you brought your hand to rest, the amount of force required to keep there would actually drop off slightly. We thought this was desirable because it would let him put in the minimal input that he had to get it to the location he wanted, but he wouldn't have to keep applying the force to hold it in. So we definitely think that bands is the key to the design. If anybody is going to build off of it, that is something that should be maintained. The adjustable cam. We want it to be really simple to adjust different arm weights, different applications. If he's using a computer mouse or painting his house, he wants different levels. Now because we didn't end up getting the full range of 0G, we were able to get about 10 inches, but the range can be adjusted very easily. So you simply hop a band to the next level, and you can change exactly how the machine works. So with the arm in, if the person finds that they don't have enough resistance down low, you can simply hop another band on. Very, very easy to adjust. And like you said, it acts like a computer. We can control exactly which regions are getting the force. We also went with the 3-bar no pinch arms. So as he said, the idea of it is that it keeps the plate relatively flat, regardless of where we are in position. And we used a round bar on the bottom here because it created a no pinch zone. It left enough clearance that I could put my hand in here and drop it down without pinching. So we thought that was very important. You get children around, you don't want anybody losing any fingers. The adjustable arm holder, it's a rotational arm piece. Very simple. Velcro straps. Because this is 0G, you don't need a lot of force transferring through your arm. It's generally going to do the lifting, so you don't require a lot of force to keep your arm in.
And how rigid is it? Give it a spin.
Show you our nice little bearings. So it's very, very easy to do with minimal friction losses. You honestly have free motion when you put it on. It's great. As far as testing, I'll run over the affordability in the next slide. Nice breakdown. The minimal force, we had to unfortunately fail that one. We do have zones, as I said, where it is less than half a pound. Works very well in those zones. When you go above them, it requires more force than that as well as below. So that we would like to do a little bit more work with. The motion is great, as you'll be able to see when you test it. It's very natural feeling. We have the full range. The 2 to 3 degrees of freedom. What we were shooting for initially, when I say 2 to 3, either adjusting a plane and then having the motion within that would be the 2. And the 3 that we were shooting for was being able to move a bunch of different directions at once, right? And so we managed to get that, so definitely a pass there. Durability, we've put it through pretty good testing in the lab. We've used it all day, every day. We've been really happy with it. Haven't had any problems yet. We wouldn't expect any rubber bands possibly being changed out every year as they will lose a little bit of their elasticity. Speed of motion, great. We were catching balls and stuff. You can move very quickly with it. And safe. I'll go over later. The only pinch point that we really found was beside the cam and the sidearms here. So we have a future recommendation to avoid that issue. So here's our cost breakdown. The total of all of our materials is $184. Man hours I have is 5 to machine the parts. That is not myself. That is definitely someone with Rodney's skill set to do that in 5 hours. It took us roughly, I'd say, about 10 to 12 hours. We were learning and definitely a little slower than the average. So our total grand cost is $321.50, and that is start to finish to produce this. So very reasonable price when compared to the other alternative of $2,500 to $5,000. Future recommendations. As I said, we have a pinch point here. We recommend a guard that would come down, could simply be bolted in, added on after, in that shape, and that's just going to prevent anyone from getting hair or fingers caught in between the cam and the sidearms. Now, as we discussed, we did have a counterweight on here. What we found is that the design was rigid enough that it could handle the torsion, and the counterweight was not necessary. If you wanted to fine-tune the device, but we left it on here, you thread it in and out to adjust for different weights of arms, and that just keeps the moment centered while this point at all times. So we found we didn't need it. I left it on here though so that we could show you, and definitely we built from that. We learned a lot from that. And the most important and last recommendation would be using computer optimization to create the perfect The system works. The cam is a very, very tricky thing to get right. Your bands are increasing the force as they stretch. The areas that they're exposed are all changing all the time. We didn't have the expertise to do this properly with computers, but I think if you got somebody who's trained and well versed in that area, they could definitely come up with an ideal cam that would give you the full range of motion with zero G. And do we have any questions, or anyone want to demo the design?
Compliment you on actually having the initiative to contact. When it comes to contact the company, somebody actually gave, from the company gave you feedback. That's.
So here, look at your chair.
Chair might sit a little bit low here. Or you, Ryan, we got this one.
If you stand right beside it, it might be all right, actually.
So if you just sit here.
And to assemble it to a wheelchair, I mean, you just have, yeah, it's like right on top of something. It's almost,
So you want to slide forward a little bit more. So just sit here. Regular flow. So this,
How would you adjust it?
no, you can, so if you wanted to go, there's less force.
Oh, yeah.
if you stand a little
So if
closer.
you want to use a computer mouse, I mean, you can put more force on it, or sorry, less force, or your arm.
If you were to tell us where your problem range was, we could adjust the cam. If you want to work up higher, if you're having trouble up high, we can adjust it so it has more force up high or more stable up high. If you need to work down low, we can very quickly adjust the cam so you have a lot of power down low. You're very comfortable down low.
Slide forward just a little bit more. You won't hit the line.
It's fine, actually.
But you can see that you can reach out to me, you can reach yourself, you can reach out to the sides, and it feels quite natural. But the zero G limit is within about 10 or 12 inches.
So if I want to go higher, I just set up.
Yeah, I mean, there's different speeds.
And again, we had actually a less pretty cam that achieved better response. I'll take it.
And this would essentially sit behind the chair. That's where you get motion.
Bigger forearms almost. So, yeah, you can even move this back so that you're able to reach your chest. You can adjust the size, you can reach your
Lift it up. Other way, bring it up.
You
You want to go higher?
Almost
Or you want to go lower?
where it lets you. Is that higher?
Yeah, this would essentially, you want that near your head.
But yeah, if you get your hands adjusted, somewhat similar directed ways. It's much cheaper.
I'll just ask a question.
Yeah.
What is in it that makes it so expensive? Is it got a motor? Is it motorized or what?
It's not motorized, like, I'll show you this picture again. I mean, this is probably more than, this one here is probably a lot more than,
Is this the Echo?
this is the one that they have now. Okay, so it's, there's a spring inside, and then I'm not sure quite what they have on
What makes it
this.
so expensive is they have like a pneumatic, a very complex gas range
Just,
there.
just for the sake
That costs a lot.
I think it's because they're a company, they don't have much competition, so they can't charge that much.
There's a business for you guys.
I think that's why they're so expensive, though. And I'm sure they've done a lot of testing and stuff like that, so that, it's hard to, I'm sure it's bad. Oh, yeah, we kind of went a different direction.
It looks good. Yeah. I don't have any questions. Actually, I will ask, does anybody have any questions for them? Sorry, I forgot to ask.